Welcome to Yoga with Subhash. In this segment, we will be practicing the practice of Bandhas, called the locks in English. And this is a practice associated with the practices of pranayama, breathing practices. And today I will be showing you how to integrate the practice of Bandhas with the practice of Kapalabhati. Kapalabhati is a breathing practice where we force the breaths out and suck the belly in when you do the exhalation. And in my own practice, I prefer to sit in the asana called Vajrasana for the practice of Kapalabhati. Now, just a quick review of the three bandhas. The three bandhas or the three locks are called the Uddiyana Bandha or the navel lock, Jalandhar Bandha or the chin lock, and the Mula Bandha or the root lock. Now, the three bandhas are mostly applied when you have completely either inhaled or exhaled, and then you are able to hold the breath. So they are applied during breath retention. What we need to remember is that the Uddiyan Bandha, the navel lock, is the one which can be applied only after exhalation. The other two, the chin lock and the root lock, which is the Mula Bandha, can be applied both after inhalation as well as exhalation. Now, that means that when you finish the exhalation and hold the breath, you can also apply all the three bandhas, because at that time you can also apply the Uddiyana Bandha as well, the navel lock. When you do that practice, which is to apply all the three bandhas simultaneously, that's called a Mahabandha or a great lock. So we'll be practicing the application of bandhas at the end of the Kapalabhati sequence. So what is done is, let me just briefly explain the technique first, and then we'll do some practice. So when you do the Kapalabhati, let me just do a few rounds of Kapalabhati. Okay, so when you finished with your Kapalabhati sequence, at the very end of that, you take an inhalation and then expel all the air from the lungs, completely eliminate all the lungs from the air. And having done that, because we have expelled all the air and we are trying to hold the breath, at that time you can apply all three bandhas. We are applying the Mahabandha at that time. So we'll lower the chin down, create a nice cavity here by pulling the belly in, and squeeze the perineum, lifting the muscles up to do the root lock. Now you'll be able to hold that for a certain amount of time. When you want to inhale, when you have the urge to inhale, what we do is we release all the three bandhas. So that means you lift the chin up, soften the belly, release the root lock, and then what we will do is to inhale from the right nostril. So we'll use the Vishnu Mudra with the right hand, which is to make a fist, lift the thumb and the last two fingers, and then we use the ring finger to close the left side, inhale a very deep and soft Ujjayi breath from the right nostril, and then close the right side and exhale a very soft and deep Ujjayi breath from the left nostril. So that is the full technique of the Kapalabhati practice. So what we will do is, we'll try to demonstrate a few rounds of this Kapalabhati practice. So again, just to review the Kapalabhati itself, the technique is to force the breath out in short bursts of breath. So you're forcing the breath out, you'll make a slight sound when you exhale, and at that time when you exhale, suck the belly in a very sharp movement. So it looked like this. So the sound you hear is the expulsion of breath in a short burst, and then the belly going in. So for this practice, what we will do is I will do maybe about 50 breaths just to give you an idea, and then we will apply the 3 bandhas and explain how to do that at the end. Okay. Now for the practice of Kapalabhati, what I found is it's very helpful if I use a metronome which will be making a ticking sound at a very uniform pattern. It is important that when you practice Kapalabhati, you maintain a very uniform pattern of the breath, and this metronome will help us do that. So I'm going to set it up at 85 breaths per minute, and you can set it at any comfortable rate or the pattern that you are comfortable with. Experiment with a few different patterns and see what works for you. Okay, so I'm going to start. I'm going to do this practice at 85 breaths per minute. Like I said, I'll do about 50 and then apply all the 3 bandhas. So this was a quick demonstration of the practice of Kapalabhati along with the 3 bandhas. Now in your own practice, you may want to do this 2 more times. In general, I recommend 3 rounds of this practice, and the number of breaths in each round will depend on your own individual capability, your own capacity, and you will start feeling that you can increase the number of breaths as you continue your practice for a longer period of time. So when you do the 3 rounds, at the end of each round, take a few easy breaths, get the breathing back to your normal pattern, and then continue with the next round. So do a total of 3 rounds. Now that is one of the basic techniques of how to apply the bandhas. Now another variation of this, which is a little more advanced, is to also include the bandhas after inhalation. So remember, when we did the exhalation, then we applied the 3 bandhas, then we inhaled through the right and we exhaled through the left side. In this new variation, what we will do is, after releasing the bandhas, after inhaling from the right side, again we will apply the bandhas. Now remember, at the end of inhalation, you can only apply the chin lock and the root lock. So that's what we will do. So we'll inhale through the right side, close both the nostrils, and then apply the 2 bandhas, and then release the bandhas, and then exhale from your left side. That will complete one full sequence of the Kapalabhati practice with the application of the bandhas. Okay, so once again, I'm going to demonstrate another round of the same practice now with the application of bandhas both after exhalation as well as the inhalation. And we'll again do the practice for about 50 breaths. So once again, if you would like to include the bandhas after both exhalation and inhalation, like I said earlier, please try to do 3 rounds. Take a few breaths, easy breaths, to bring your breathing back to normal after each round. And again, build your capacity eventually to go up to maybe 100 or 120 breaths in each round, and then apply the bandhas. And I certainly hope you enjoyed this video presentation of the practice of Kapalabhati with the bandhas, and I hope you will include these practices in your own routine, in your own yoga routine. I look forward to seeing you back in a future video sequence. I would love to hear your feedback or your comments. And please visit my blog for more detailed instructions on this practice. And I thank you very much. Namaste, and have a wonderful day.